Wednesday evening, everybody. Oh, whose mic is on like that? All right, Wednesday evening, everybody. Welcome into another episode of the Football Show with No Name. I'm glad to see Lauren on here because she was not in the pregame, so I'm glad you're here. Yay! Hey, so Lauren,
it was
Who
a
Dat Nation
kind of rundown.
is here, and you got Ferg, of
everybody?
course, Big Jeff on the top left, wearing a Texans jersey. So
Yeah, Thursday night
can
football.
we talk about that real quick? So what
Nice.
Texans jersey do you have
Who are
on?
you wearing?
The Massage King, of course.
Oh my!
The Massage King. I would never buy a new Texans.
Whoa! No, right? Like
that
so
was like
I
Arian
have,
Foster or something.
I have a JJ Watt red one, and I have a Brian Cushing white one.
I will not wear another Dolphins jersey until we win a game.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I mean, y'all had a tough loss. Y'all had a tough loss Sunday. There was a lot of tough losses. One that it kind of extended to this week. So let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about Anthony Richardson. First of all, I think he's at 38.8 QBR. I think is what they said he was.
Is it that high?
So, right, exactly.
Oh, he's terrible.
So lowest in the NFL. I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like the kid he's good at running the ball, right? And I think he's kind of hesitant to do that. And I think the Colts are hesitant to do that, like rightfully so at this point. But he can't throw the ball. I mean, but he had 1 year starting in college. Like, in all fairness to the kid, he had 1 year starting.
Then why did they draft him so high?
Because GMs make crazy decisions. He's basically Terrell Pryor.
Right.
I mean, he started off really well until he got injured last year. It looked like
he wasn't that good.
But he was getting drafted like the fifth quarterback off the board.
The problem with Anthony
I don't know what that was.
Is you have too many other people on this team making money for him to be down playing like that.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have to pay Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do something with Josh Downs coming down the road. You got Jonathan Taylor, and then you got this dude not really doing nothing. At this rate, just waive him.
You have all the pieces you need to play well, and then you got Flacco sitting over there on the bench, who's 303 whenever he steps on that field.
Oh my God, I've never been so happy to see Joe Flacco's face.
Right? So, I mean, you got Josh Downs in places, or Michael Pittman in places there, Lauren? Or
I bench Richardson, and I trade Richardson. I trade Richardson to Charlotte for a 4th or 5th round pick. And I go with Flacco, and I draft the first dude that falls to us next year and try to hold out on Flacco for another year. Or maybe if you pull the old man route that they pulled before, maybe a year of Stafford where you get a new guy in there. They want to get rid of Stafford anyway.
Maybe
a year of Stafford in the dome.
Maybe. I mean, they were talking about taking Stafford to Minnesota, right, and putting Sam Darnold in LA, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore because LA went in there and beat them.
Yeah, you got Darnold McCartney next year.
He's 39.
McCarthy next year.
Who is Stafford?
No, Flacco. He could do another year.
That's what I say. A year of him as the damn placeholder for the next guy.
Like, he just plays so carefree. He ain't worried about shit. And he's got a Super Bowl ring. He got
those balls down the field.
He's got his bucket full of fucking money.
Yeah.
Right? And so he's just
he won me a championship last year.
Like, he's just out there.
He won a lot of championships. He won a lot of championships last year.
So, but they bench him, and they don't say, it's, this is kind of week to week. They say for the foreseeable future,
he's trash.
Joe Flacco is going to be our quarterback.
Thank God. Michael Pittman's been killing me. He does well when Flacco's there.
I feel like
every other receiver
danced around his house like Tom Cruise and Risky Business when he heard Joe Flacco was going to be permanent.
How you think his back all of a sudden
back ain't hurting now?
Back
ain't hurting now.
See, he was one step away from the fucking IR, and
he's trash.
Like,
after the way he started last year, I thought he was gonna be. I was like, oh, what? This is great. They picked up Anthony Richardson. Like, the Panthers are gonna be jealous, but like, that is not.
We did a show last year, and I remember talking about the Colts, and I remember Josh Downs being hurt, and I remember us talking about Marvin Harrison saying he's the best wideout in the building. And it seems to be the case that Josh Downs is the best wide out there.
Man,
It's a
like,
Right, they
awesome
have
wide
some
receiver, too,
talented
in
guys.
this setup.
well,
Yeah.
I'll say this, Ferg,
Mo Alley Cox.
as a Carolina fan, and I know as a Miami Hurricanes fan, you didn't see this quite as often as I did. But this kid just has the cut. He has the quickness, and what they're saying about him is he's just always open.
He's always open.
Right.
I kept up with Josh Downs because Josh Downs is a North Carolina kid. So I remember him from high school football.
Yeah.
And like I said, when Marvin Harrison stamps
always
it,
open.
Marvin Harrison says this dude's the best wideout in this building, including myself, then that means I have to pay attention to what Marvin Harrison's saying. But he was going like 15, 16 in drafts.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely was.
15, I think he's wide receiver 12 or 13 right now. I might be wrong.
Let's stay on this quarterback thing. Let's go to another quarterback who's disappointed in this week, and that would be Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
I was hoping that's what you were gonna say.
And because I know it's Lauren's boy.
favorite QB.
So they've lost 5 straight. Is it 5 straight now? 6 straight?
Yeah, they're 2-5. And not only that, but man, they lost to my AFC guys.
Yeah.
I was like, and you know what? I almost sent Gerard's brother that I work with an email. I started to write it and say congrats because like that's a hell of a win on him.
It's a big
really
win.
Good job.
I mean, even though it's a shitty Jets team, it's a shitty New England team.
Exactly. So like good for
Drizzy
them.
Drake.
Yeah, then you got Drake going out. Drake going out with a concussion, and he was limited in practice today. But anyway, so Aaron Rodgers has blamed it on everybody but Aaron Rodgers this year. The head coach got fired. He called out his receivers, not running the right routes. So what is it now? What is it that is going to, if they can't go out there and beat New England, who do they got this week?
Well, they say the cayenne pepper and
they got Houston this week.
It's going to motivate.
There's no way they're going to win that game.
Well, so then
I don't know. Houston's prone to laying eggs.
Yeah,
laying eggs.
Well, all right, I don't want them to win that game. I think that's more than nobody. It's like
I don't think anybody wants them to win that
game.
I
want them to lose at home on Thursday night.
But
if Houston wins that game, Miami is still in play in AFC.
Well,
we just got in there and beat Buffalo.
Well, okay, so Houston hasn't. CJ Stroud hasn't played well since Nico went out.
No,
now they're talking
now
about
you get Diggs, yeah.
Right, now you got Diggs out, so you got Tank Dell, and then
Hutchinson.
Then insert receiver here with Dalton Schultz, somewhere around there, going against the secondary that is good and has been playing well of the Jets, led by Sauce Gardner, who will probably be shadowing.
They got Joe Mixon. They got
Mechie is a high pickup this week all around. I'm not sure what he's gonna do, but he is flying up the trends for
picking up Minchie. Like, unless you need a spot play, I would not pick up Minchie because you're gonna have him for 1 week. Nico,
I hate Thursday night games. Yeah,
I do hate Thursday night. 248,000 pickups in the last 24 hours.
I would just say leave the Texans. I mean, unless you have Tank Dell. If you have Tank Dell, I think you probably should start him because I think it's a necessity play. I mean, CJ Stroud has to throw him somewhere, right?
Yeah,
his passing yards got to go somewhere.
But do you start Tank Dell knowing that he's going to get Sauce?
I mean, as I said, he's going to have 18 targets, bro. So, I mean, because they got to go somewhere, right?
I really like Schultz this week.
I mean, you got to like Schultz. You got to like Mixon. You got to like the under. that's what you got to like. Whatever that is, you got to like that.
The only reason I don't like the Texans is I just don't believe in the road teams on Thursday nights. Unless it's just crazy lopsided. That turnaround in 24 to 36 hours of flying out, not practicing.
You saw what happened with the line.
Every really good team that goes on the road on Thursday nights usually loses. Or they're really close games.
You saw what happened to the line.
Yes.
Right? When they announced that Diggs was out for the year, it went to the Jets -2. Right, and it's a 42.5 point over under.
Yeah.
But it went to the Jets -2. Like that's
I'm probably okay giving out candy tomorrow night, not watching that game.
No, but let's take a look at this. So the Jets are 2-6, the Texans are 6-2. and the Jets are favored in this game.
I believe it. Thursday
It's
night at
because
home.
it's Aaron Rodgers. They're never gonna. As long as that man's name is on the
It's not
roster.
so much Roger. There is I think if you were to actually do a deep dive into these stats, there is a mythicism that still surrounds the Jets defense that just has not been there. Like when you look on Sleeper or Yahoo or something, you see that red pop up on the Jets. Like you're not supposed to start your wide receivers, but when you go back and look at all the wide receivers and running backs that have played against them, they were all fine. Like, they haven't shut anybody down.
You got to have more than one wide receiver.
Yeah, they haven't shut anybody down. Anybody with a decent passing game has just been legit. Whatever.
Well, the decent passing game has not been the thing for the Texans recently, but the running game and Joe Mixon, he's been great, as Lauren was mentioning a few minutes ago. Mixon has been phenomenal. I mean, every week that he's been in, he's been a top 5 running back.
The Texans' run game is legit because the Texans' run game had Cam Akers and Obaganwe. However you say his name. I started them in 2 back-to-back weeks and didn't lose either of those games.
And Damian Pierce, they got everybody looking good.
Fall off.
Right.
Damian Pierce, that's Jeff Boyd.
Don't you ever say Damian Pierce's name again on this goddamn show again. Don't you ever say his name.
Is he like the other
on the list of Baltimore.
He's the other unmentionable. Okay, so then let's go to more happy news for Lauren.
I was gonna say before you get to the happy news, hear me now when I say this. If the Saints lose to the Panthers this weekend, first of all, Ross Jackson, who I listen to every day from Locked On Saints, said we haven't hit rock bottom yet, guys, but we will this weekend if we lose to the Panthers. But right now, Dennis Allen's ass will be unemployed Monday morning, if not Sunday night.
Bryce Young with no Deontay Johnson.
Right. Yo.
If you don't win this game right here, oh my God.
We don't have a defense anymore.
Turn the lights out in New Orleans.
Lauren, I am happy for you that David Carr's coming back, or Derek Carr's coming back. Yeah.
Isn't that sad though?
Yeah. No, it is kind of sad. I mean, I don't think is Olave cleared yet.
Olave played last week. Olave had a beat
last
game.
week.
He had a beat game.
That's right. He had a good game last week.
Make his debut and try to
Kamara had a good game. He had a good game.
I mean, but Derek Carr is coming back, and the Spencer Rattler experience can be over as long as Carr can stay healthy.
Wait a minute, where's the bag? I thought Lauren was supposed to have the bag every week when New Orleans lost.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
You know what? I'll wear the bag next Wednesday if what happens next Tuesday. What could happen next Tuesday? That'll be a bag night too.
So can we also talk about? I want to talk about another quarterback that had a great week, but also I can't understand how he had a great week. So the Lions and the Titans game.
Jesus Christ.
So it was 52-14 Lions, this is one of my favorite games of the week because it's like I'm just not a Titans fan. But also I have a lot of stock in the Lions, which I think a lot of people do fantasy football wise, because I mean, how could you not? Jameer Gibbs had a great game.
Oh my God, that kid.
Montgomery had a great game.
Montgomery is as solid
had a game.
As they come.
Sam Laporta had a game. I mean, David Montgomery threw a touchdown, right?
Yeah, it was bad. It was like Jeff and I could have gone out there.
And then you got Jared Goff. So
come on now.
Outside looking in. Outside looking in.
85 yards.
52-14 game. This motherfucker, you would think, oh my gosh, you had him on your fantasy team. You just look at the score and you're like, man, this dude's 303, 304, right?
But he still had what, 25?
But he was 12 for 15 for 85 yards.
And 3 touchdowns.
And he got a touchdown stolen from him because David Montgomery threw it.
I'll take him over Caleb.
Right, but it took my stack away.
I was looking away at my sleeper scores,
actually,
and I thought that sleeper was jacked up. Because I saw the game, I was like, oh, fuck, Goff got 85 yards. And then I'm looking at some of these teams, I'm like, wow, I scored 130, 140. How did I do that happen? And then I see this dude had 3 touchdown passes.
Boy, it was something else. Yeah. But so then I just want to clump all this together. We had a lot of what could be called games of the week. There was a lot of good, close games, and we'll kind of run them through here. We already talked about Pats Jets. You got Packers Jags. That was unbelievably a good game.
That was a good game too.
It was actually really fun to watch, and Malik Willis came in and played well at the end of the game. Falcons Bucks wasn't as close as the score actually indicated at the end, but Baker made it interesting. He made it interesting. He had another great game. We're gonna save my favorite one for the last one.
Let me guess which one you're.
Hold on. Let's go back to. Oh,
Baker I know.
For a second. Let's jump into like 2 seconds of fantasy for a second with Baker and them. Are you willing to go Jalen McMillan and Sterling Shepard? Sterling Shepard anywhere to replace Godwin and Evans?
Not Sterling
because
Sharp.
I have some leagues.
McMillan.
I would have got
Otton.
I have to go
Otton. I know you can't play tight ends, but Otton's the one I think.
I mean,
if you can flex him,
Otton should be gone. If Otton's available in your league, then
McMillan's the one to go for. I mean, that's for sure.
I dropped him this last week for Ladd McConkey.
Well, so what they were making.
There
was another podcast that was making a point about McMillan that Baker had him targeted on 3 what should have been touchdowns.
He had 8 targets.
Yeah, and 3 should have been touchdowns. And like he explained those routes and everything. So he's still looking for him in those situations in 3rd down and goal line. So I would say McMillan.
I'm going to give you 3 names, and you tell me if you will start McMillan over.
As we're talking, I'm picking him up again.
Will you start McMillan over Mooney?
No.
Would you start McMillan over Keenan Allen or Odunze?
Odunze, yes. Keenan Allen, probably not, because the Bears have a favorable matchup this week.
In a flex spot, would you start him over anybody in Washington besides McMillan?
McLaurin? No.
Would you start
I would start McMillan over anybody except for McLaurin in Washington.
Okay.
What about we're talking flex too? Because
only flex spot where you can put anybody.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're Brian Robinson.
That's really the only way you're going to be able to slide.
I'd play Brian Robinson over McMillan, but that would be about it.
Like, I have a lot of teams where I own Laporta, and then I took like Otton really late, but I really need to play Otton. I'm scared to sit Laporta, but I just gotta play Otton because Baker just flings the ball every fucking where.
All right, so let's keep going through these. So the Chiefs dig it out.
Just real quick, never again will I not do all my DraftKings lineups with as many tight ends as possible on tight end appreciation.
On tight end day, you'll learn your lesson now.
Yes, that was ridiculous.
17
George Kittle has an inside connect with the league, so
and so does
tight end day next year. Just start 10 tight ends in your lineup.
Yep, for sure.
That's what I'm
as many as you can. So the Chiefs somehow figure out a way to get it done again. It is the Raiders, but Chiefs figured out how to get it done again.
It's the Chiefs.
Cowboys. I mean, what can we say at this point that hasn't already been that Stephen A. Smith hasn't already said?
Didn't Brock run in his own touchdown?
Of course, Brock ran in his own touchdown, and the Cowboys suck again. The Monday night game is really not much to talk about. Steelers and Mike Tomlin get it done again. They're going to be on their way to another 10-win season. That's going to be
11.
So
let's
talk about the most surprising game and then the best ending that everybody knows about already. But let's save that for last. So the most surprising game, obviously,
HTTR,
is the Browns.
Crab legs in the building.
Browns beating the Ravens. Yeah. So Lauren, what is the pulse in Baltimore after that shit show?
I'll tell you. I'll give you a direct quote because I love Jameis. So I
love that
thank
kid.
God for the Commanders because everybody's too busy talking about that game to notice that Lamar Jackson they had their Hail Mary that the guy caught with his face or missed with his face. So that's
Zay Flowers.
It's everybody's like trying to like keep it on the DL, I think.
Yeah. I think it was Zay Flowers or Rashad Bateman that the ball hit in the face. I'm pretty sure it was Zay Flowers.
It sounds like something
what
Zay
is
would
with
do.
the fourth quarter defense of the Ravens?
Bro, I'm not sure, but they lost to the Browns. I mean, now I told everybody, and I think I put this in our group chat too. The over under the Browns hadn't scored 20 points all year. The over under on the Browns game was 17.5 for the Browns. I took the over and won like won a couple $100 off or $100 off of the Browns scoring more than 20 points.
One of my parlays had all Jameis Winston on the overs.
That's what
because I know when we watch this Tampa Bay, Jameis is going to get. If you had Jameis marked down 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns,
35
interceptions, just mark that down. And if your defense can stand that, I never really understood, even with the 230. Why Deshaun was playing,
but I'll tell y'all what he is.
They pay. It's like when you buy a really expensive shirt, but it's super itchy and you hate it anyway, but you have to wear it.
You have to wear it to the club just to be seen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they told him to fall, and they were going to say it was.
I don't believe it. Well, then, all right, so
except like when you see his ace.
If I haven't managed to tell you, next week is my birthday. I haven't managed to tell you that. But
happy birthday early.
I just bought a T-shirt to wear to Las Vegas. And I was like, wow, why is our bill so high? So what's going on? And I realized in my haste, I pulled a Deshaun Watson and I paid $90 for a T-shirt to wear that I will be returning tomorrow. That's just what the Browns just did. The Browns said, you know what? We worth $1 billion. Fuck this 230. And it took 2 years to figure that out. Fuck this 230. Eat it on the dead cap. Play Winston. Draft a rookie next year while he's making $3-4 million.
Let Winston go out. When you let Winston
games. Play. Let Watson be your third string. Your salary cap is fucked for the next 2 years anyway.
Yeah, you can't do anything. Pay a bunch of rookies.
Do about it.
Pay a bunch of rookies. Yeah.
Now, the only thing that can help you is if Jerry Jones and Jerry Haslam have somehow gotten to be friends, and somehow during the offseason, during the competition committee, the NFL, what I think the NFL needs to do, if you're not going to do a salary cap for quarterbacks, you strap a franchise too much, asking them to pay a dude $60-70 million and he's on IR. They need to be able to stretch those injured contracts out.
Yeah.
Or say, hey, you get one every 5 years. You fuck this up. You put it on the Barry Bonds contract and pay this dude out over the next 20 years.
Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah.
They've been talking about this a lot with the Saints. The only problem with that is they're talking about the Saints had some, I don't know, some fucking guy came in 2 years ago and like changed the way they're working because their soft tissue injuries are off the chart. So like if your medical staff is part of the problem, I'm sure they'll get fired too with Dennis Allen. Then that sucks.
When you go at teams that win, I guarantee, unlike, well, I say the Chiefs are weird because that survey they do where they talk about people's facilities and stuff, the Chiefs kind of fell down in that survey, but there is a direct correlation to the shitty teams who the players say, oh, we have bad this, and the teams that are winning where everything is 1,000% top notch. We all got massage therapists. We all got personal chefs.
And that's like crazy to me too. That it's like because
everything is analytically driven when it comes to working out, and those teams don't have injuries; they just win.
Well, so let me ask you this: can the Browns start a GoFundMe to maybe like pay off some of that Deshaun Watson debt? Because I'm sure the Browns fans are super passionate, right? So it's like they started a GoFundMe and be like, hey. Who doesn't want him?
I eat Deshaun. If I'm the owner, well, I know the owner of the Browns is an asshole. But if I'm the GM, I come out on TV. I say, listen, I apologize, fans. We fucked this up.
We fucked this up.
This is what we're going to do.
Everybody chip in $1.
And I have tried to figure out how we can keep Deshaun on the bench, but we can get Flacco. We can get somebody in here who costs us pennies, so we balance out, so that it doesn't seem like we're paying two quarterbacks $100 million. We're paying two quarterbacks about 65 to 70 altogether, and then you can leave. That's a good pick. That is a good choice. A Justin Fields pickup, somebody that we can eat for the next 2 years. I know you guys are paying $10,000 a year.
Yeah, just run a ticket,
but we just need to let you know,
dude. Just let Jameis play. Just
I think if you start Jameis at the beginning of the year, Cleveland is still in the playoff hunt.
I want Jameis to come home though.
I bet.
Play Jameis or trade fucking Myles Garrett and stop wasting his prime.
Jameis is also super packed. Like, he's got a huge prime
years as being a pass rusher before you trade. When they trade Garrett, he's basically going to be fucking what's old boy from South Carolina? What's
Jadeveon.
Yeah, he's going to be Jadeveon by the time they decide to trade him, where he just bounces around from team
where
to
does
team.
He go?
Gets like 5 sacks a year.
So where does he go? Could you imagine, like, for instance, a world where the Raiders get a good quarterback and they get Myles Garrett and have Max Crosby on one side
and Christian Wilkins in the middle,
right?
And Bill Belichick is their coach.
Right. That seems to be next.
Right.
That seems to be next.
That's what I heard.
Myles Garrett is a different type of dude, though. He likes dinosaurs and anthropology and shit like that. Because otherwise,
what a better place to be.
The prime
out
spot
in the desert
for Myles Garrett, this is my opinion, is you have Cousins, you have receivers, you have this drop Myles Garrett in Atlanta. If you got to give away your next 2 first-round picks to get Myles Garrett, you do it.
Because you have the offense.
You have the offense. You just need to stop somebody, and you're in the shitty-ass South, so you always got a chance.
You can't call it the shitty-ass South anymore. Tampa Bay.
It's the shitty South. It's the shitty South.
Yeah,
because 4 weeks ago we was proclaiming your boys as Super Bowl champs, and look where they are now.
And they look where they are now. They won a game, and
it's been a good lesson in like how important your center actually is. Like I never gave enough credit to the offensive line.
I will have aged another year by the time the Saints win a game.
You know what I mean?
The last time they did this was
that's real tough.
Yeah, real tough. It's bad.
Well, look, my birthday was on Monday, and so
your birthday was Monday. You didn't call us and tell us. How do we not know?
Like I don't know. Like
why would they have a spectacular show? You are not on social media.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody knows my birthday because I'm not on social media.
We have a group chat.
I take it off.
Hey, it's my birthday, motherfuckers, or some shit like that,
bro. Like I don't. It's just another day, my guy.
How about this?
You know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, bastards, when it's my birthday. It is next Wednesday. I will be flooding your box
because you and my sister have my birthday.
Pause, bro.
My sister's birthday is Tuesday and Jeff's is Wednesday. Yep.
Yes, it is.
So actually, I have 2 sisters. One of them's on the 3rd. The other one's on the 5th. Jeff goes on the 6th.
How do you have 2 Scorpios for sisters? God damn.
I have no idea.
I know your mom and daddy caught hell. So I know your mom and daddy caught hell. I know they caught hell.
Hey, I'm right on the line. I'm right on the line with Scorpio and Libra. So I'm a Scorpio, but I'm right on the line.
You are Team Scorpio. We claim you.
The 23rd is the last day for Libra.
Oh, my mom's a Scorpio too, though.
23rd is the last day for Libra. So 24th is the first day for Scorpio. All right. So then the last game that we need to talk about, that everybody wants to talk about, is the Commanders against the Bears. So let's talk about the bad first. So the bad is Caleb Williams. He was 10 for 24 for $131, and this is after like
his fault.
And he put his team in a winning spot though.
Yeah, I mean, playing good ball. So he put his team in a winning spot because DeAndre Swift has been
finally
great. Like he's been great 4 weeks in a row. I mean, he was 18 for 129 and 1 on the ground. So I mean, you can't be mad at that. Now let's go to the good, and
I was going to say,
let's just call it
Bears or the Commanders that good?
So
the Commanders. I think the Commanders. So there was and we all listen to the same football podcast, fantasy football podcast, and they were talking about this. They were talking about a stat the other day that the Commanders' defense has gotten 5% better every week of the year.
I can believe that.
I was literally talking about that today. It's like Jaden lifted everyone's spirit. It's like all of a sudden they're like, we have wins. Let's go. And
De'Ami Brown is good now, and Brian Robinson can play. And
now,
but Jaden Daniels. So this kid, like, he's got to be the front runner for MVP if Derrick Henry wasn't.
Is
like, I don't know. Like if Derrick Henry wasn't who he was, I think Jaden Daniels.
The NFL hates rookies.
No, and I get that, but this kid went out there again, 21 for 38, which is not, it's middle of the road, but 318 and 1, and that one was 65, almost 66 air yards.
Hold on, let's stop right here. Hold on. Before we go down to Jaden Daniels, let's just talk about. Hold on, let's rewind on the play, and the actual play. As a Hurricane fan, what happens with Tyreek Stevenson? I don't know.
Is that your boy? Did he play in Miami?
Yeah, I don't know if he's on the 5-yard line, if he breaks it up. I don't know how it goes. But just the look of him taunting fans,
Yeah.
and then having to run back to the play, even though if you actually watch the play, he wasn't in the group of dudes that actually tipped the ball. He was on the outside guarding the man he should have been actually guarding.
Yeah,
It just looks bad because he was pointing in the stands. Because I mean, we've been watching football 40 years. How often do you actually see a Hail Mary work? I mean, how often?
It didn't work
without Aaron Rodgers on the field.
That's so we got to go back to the Aaron Rodgers, and then before that is
without Aaron Rodgers on the field, it was Drew Brees, Doug Flutie, like those guys.
God, so we're talking like once every 7-8 years. I get it. A rookie celebrating. We're on the road. We kicked your ass, and then Jaden Daniels drops back and throws it, and the defense was solid. It's just that the tip went to the dude, the one dude on the field that was wide open. The one dude that was just standing there.
Well, it tipped off of somebody else. Yeah.
He was just standing there, and he just got.
They knocked down instead of knocking up. That's a technique. That's a technique issue. Knock down instead of knocking up.
Right place, right time.
Yeah. So I mean, it turns into a Jaden Daniels highlight. We'll see it on this. If he turns out to be him, like I told you all in the group chat, I think he gives me early GOAT vibes. He might be him for Washington. That'll be on his highlight tape like 27 years from now. But
for sure,
it was so close to just being, hey, Washington lost.
Yeah.
Washington lost. Chicago. The NFC North is XYZ. Everybody in this league, everybody in the division is like 5 wins.
See them play Dallas. I don't. That's not coming. Oh, maybe it's on Thanksgiving. Oh,
it's Thanksgiving for sure.
Because I know how much they hate each other.
42, Dallas 10.
I cannot
Washington 42, Dallas 10. Mark it
Dallas
down
is so bad.
Unless Jaden Daniels is out of that game,
I'm calling
21 points minimum.
You know what? They can't figure out their running game. I mean, CeeDee Lamb had a great game, and Dak even had a good game. But
they were supposed to get Derrick Henry. Yeah,
Dalvin Cook.
No, but you remember Jerry Jones said he did not fit well into their system. Lauren.
I would not allow Jerry Jones to tell this lie about Derrick Henry no more. After Derrick Henry came out himself and said he or his agent heard not a whisper from anybody in the Cowboys since the day he walked out of the damn door at Tennessee. Not a whisper. And then for you guys,
I'm like trying to think. I'm like, who is their starting running back?
It's like
Rico Dowdle, Zeke, and now Dalvin Cook tried.
Yeah, it's
even
like,
if you thought he was a bum, like if
who,
Tom Brady lives in Charlotte. Let's say Tom Brady moves to Charlotte, and David Tepper doesn't even text Tom and say, "Hey, you interested in coming back?" Derrick Henry lives in Dallas, and he didn't get a text. He could get an email.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Come for dinner. Let's come play golf at the Dallas Cowboys Club.
And just come visit the damn facility or something.
Right.
I mean, hey, we giving free tours, 50% off. He get nothing.
Free gear.
Not one. And now you're sitting there talking about, oh, we couldn't afford it.
Take you on a tour of the locker room. Right,
really?
Look, bruh.
Do they usually have houses in like their state they're playing in also?
Yes. Yeah, but it's usually a rental.
But I mean, if you think about it, even though
unless you're Tyreek.
Without us getting into the voting type shit, if you're non-political and you make $200 million, you've made $200 million, your best bet is to live in. Your bet is to live in Texas or Florida.
Texas,
you should live or Texas and Florida anyway.
South Carolina.
If you play in California, you need a good lawyer to figure out, hey, I don't live here.
I don't live here.
I don't live here.
This is not my state of residence.
I fly to another state every day from Tuesday to Thursday. I do not live here.
I live on the border of Arizona.
Yeah, because them California taxes are ridiculous.
I live in Nevada, like in the desert in Nevada.
Yeah.
I fly in.
I hate DeSantis and I hate the guy in Texas, but if I play pro sport, I'll build me a house in Houston or Dallas too and post up there and never leave.
Right.
And never leave. Not for that kind of money. Yeah, not for that kind of money. You got to
way. That's why it was Deshaun's place is in Florida, right?
Yeah, like
he's got one in Texas, right? So it's just
on 230. On 230, you're paying no state taxes on 230. Another reason why he gives no fucks about playing football.
Like, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, look, good for him, I guess. Like, I don't
Listen,
know.
If I made $230 million and I knew I was trash, I probably wouldn't even put my pads on.
Right.
I just come out there and warm. Hey, y'all gonna play me or not? I don't give a fuck.
I get it.
It's guaranteed.
Like,
but at that point,
my shit is guaranteed. I don't give a fuck. Everybody hates me. All women think I'm trash. And the NFL, ESPN thinks I'm ass.
I'm only allowed to have massages by men in the NFL.
Let me take my 230, get me an island.
Wouldn't that be a funny stipulation, Lauren?
Only
you can only have a dude massage you, bro. Like,
no, I thought that was true.
No way.
No.
Or he's only allowed to do.
No, he can only have team approved massages, like in the facility.
Yeah, so
he can't be at no hotels and the team hotel that they was giving him the free room. It's really the Texas fault he got caught up. If you have a crack addict for a quarterback, you don't let him hang out at a trap house. I mean, you have a sex addict for a quarterback, you don't give him free hotel rooms with unlimited.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. If I'm the owner, I'm making $1 billion.
All I'm thinking about is, man, wouldn't it be funny if we were having this conversation in the late 80s, early 90s?
Hey, I'm just saying. I feel like as an owner,
immediately thought of Mary when you started.
Like if you have a crackhead, if you have somebody that does coke, just give them the best coke you can find, so they don't have to go out and look for it.
Pay for the broads so that you don't get in trouble. I don't get this.
Right.
Like if you're an NFL owner, all 53 of these dudes are minor investments. Yes. I need to give you a babysitter. I need to be putting ring cameras on. Listen here. Your location.
An executive assistant.
Never turn your location off as long as you are on contract with me.
That's what they're making it look like in this Aaron Hernandez tragedy.
3 a.m. and be like, hey,
you've
been sitting at Orchid Rose massage parlor for like 3 hours. Hey, it's about time for you to start heading home, ain't it, buddy? I'm just saying.
Look, if you have a certain amount of guaranteed money wrapped up in somebody, you should be able to put.
I have a friend whose brother worked for Reebok. One of his assignments was he designed shoes, but he also traveled around with Allen Iverson. When I look back at his history, and when Reebok fired that guy, is when we started hearing about Allen Iverson in the street naked, knocking on his wife's door at 4 a.m., doing stupid shit. When you had a babysitter, you were fine. And if I got to pay you $100,000
I feel like the Patriots do that, though.
Look,
I feel like
you get cards. Like, you don't have to ever get DUIs. It's in the CBA.
Here's the thing.
You can get a ride home at any time.
If you want to pay me to babysit,
I will.
Babysit an adult at a professional athlete, I'm totally game. Like, I'm personable enough.
All you gotta do is get him home safe.
I can talk my way into things, but so like if Snoop if Snoop can pay his blunt roller $50,000 a year with health insurance and 401k.
Listen, you're making $100 million.
In the
Paying
NFL,
somebody $40,000-$50,000 to be your DD bodyguard is nothing.
Come on, man.
I've heard stories about Iverson being in the club and stuff like that, and something happened, and the dude just be like, he just stands up, be like, hey, and the Tahoes pull up, we leave.
Time to go.
You take the hose back to the hotel, but you can't be here. No. You cannot be here.
No.
And not in the age of damn social media and camera phones.
Nope. It can't happen.
Ask John Morant.
I tell you, the greatest thing to ever happen to the Olympics, in my opinion, is Snoop and Flavor Flav. Like that was the most amazing they could have ever had. And the fact that they were doing it out of I was like, Flavor, look at him.
Well, when Snoop and Kevin Hart
Snoop and Kevin Hart
is
actually top tier.
That was
Flavor Flav coming out there with the polo outfit. I was like, oh my god.
Well, because he paid, he funded the water polo.
Yeah, which is also like super cool. But then he's out there with them and being like I thought that was pretty decent. But then also I was like, the Olympics needed Snoop.
But if you just gave me you could give me a network of Snoop
and Martha Stewart.
Oh my God, yes.
Gus Johnson.
I'll be done.
And Kevin Harlan basically calling every sporting event ever.
Mike Tirico.
And I'd be good with that.
As
long as Snoop is on the booth in color.
Bro.
I don't want him doing play-by-play, but as long as he's in the booth doing color.
Of all time. He's such a good dude.
He needs to be the third guy.
Do you remember Snoop when at that first Jake Paul boxing match when he was doing the announcing? Oh my God,
dude!
He was like, "This motherfucker just got knocked the fuck out."
So speaking of, can we mention that real quick and just get back to football?
Who, Mike fighting?
Mike and
when is that? Next week?
2 weeks?
Is that next week or 2 weeks?
I think it's right after the election, right?
If we get back to football, I watched the video. Shannon Sharp.
Oh.
It does. It's
Finally,
like either a
you finally
lion or
watched,
somebody
huh?
with tuberculosis. Like there's some like strange sounds. Like I was like, I see. It's a lion.
That motherfucker sounded like the ghost, one of the ghouls of ghosts in Ghostbusters. Like he was at the end. He was like the end guy they were fighting in Ghostbusters.
Shannon, if you want to, you know what? This is all I'm saying about Shannon. Shannon, you left the camera on because you got tired of us throwing.
It sounded like he was trying to do.
And I'm good with that, Shannon. But since we didn't get no video, we don't know who was there. We don't know who was in the room.
Maybe she had a dick. Nobody knows.
So
that might be why he was. Yeah.
Right,
Shannon,
it was
just
dark.
stick to talking shit on first.
It was dark. All right.
But you notice just a little social media lesson, like for politics and shit. Did you notice how when you just admit, yeah, that shit was me.
Yeah.
How nobody talks about the shit no
Nobody
more.
talks
Like we
about
didn't
it
hear
no more.
nothing else about it after like that Tuesday. He was like, yeah, it was me.
Yeah.
And then it was done.
It was done.
As long as he was saying, nah, somebody hacked me.
Yeah.
People be like, nah, you lying.
Everybody was like, stop
once
lying.
he was like, yeah,
stop lying, Uncle Shannon. Stop
I
lying,
did that
Uncle
shit,
Shannon.
and I didn't hear nothing else about it ever again.
That's true. He really should have just. Yeah, that's true.
No,
anytime you get caught in life doing some shit, you should just be like, I did that shit.
Instead, he got contract offers from Pornhub.
Exactly.
Did he really?
Oh yeah,
amazing.
for sure.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. I would probably go on there just to see it, just see if he does it again.
So, all right. So a couple games that we need to talk about this upcoming week because look, it's about to be 10 o'clock and we have 15 minutes left to go. All right, so
we talk no fantasy.
Let's start talking about Ferg's boys. They got a tough game this week. They go up to Orchard Park to play the Bills.
I don't like this game because every time they play the Bills,
they don't look
Tua
good.
Gets hit. Well, Tua gets hit. It's like every time he plays the Bills.
Mm-hmm. I don't know for like what's the over under on hits they're going to allow him to take.
There's no over under. The man is cleared. If the man gets hit and he ends up slurping out of a damn sippy straw, that's between him and
Jesus.
Okay, that's where we are at this point.
He said his wife said it was okay.
Fantasy implications we have here with Tua back are great.
They are
back.
Yeah.
Now people can start. I mean, A-Chain had a great game last week.
A-Chain had
a great game. Tyreek did not. However, don't worry. Don't worry. I mean, it's like I'm starting Tyreek.
It's coming this week.
I will everywhere.
It's coming this week.
Yeah,
Buffalo secondary is
everywhere. So it's gonna be a little bit tough sledding. Right now it's a Buffalo -6 and a 48.5 point over under.
I just looked that up. Yeah, 48.
So I mean that's a really high over under. I assume at this point with that over under, it sounds like the weather's gonna be pretty good. So probably 60 and sunny up there. So then you got an interesting game with the Browns and the Ravens. The Ravens needing a win, coming off that unreal loss to the Browns.
Crazy to say they need
the Broncos to come down to Baltimore with Bo Nix playing well, and the Broncos defense playing really well, and Javonte Williams playing well enough.
Let's don't be a victim of we just played the Panthers.
Let's
don't be a victim of we just played the Panthers.
Dude, the last 4 weeks, Bo Nix has been playing really, really well, bro.
No, he's been
playing.
Put him in draft.
I think he's averaging 50 yards a game rushing over the last 4 weeks.
He's a really good DFS option right now.
Do y'all know that he's the number 10 quarterback on the year fantasy? 10.
I believe it.
Not Nix.
Bo Nix.
No way.
Yep. The number 10 fantasy quarterback on the year. I heard it.
Who else would be there though?
I heard it today.
No way. No way.
Been hurt. Kyler's not been great.
Hold on. Let me clarify that one because I don't believe that's accurate. Nix?
Bo Nix is the number 10 quarterback on the year. No. I mean, Josh Allen.
Patrick Mahomes hasn't done shit.
Patrick Mahomes is terrible.
How the fuck? This is what happens when you play the Panthers. Right. And you get this abnormal stat line where you've been averaging 14, 8, 19, 10, and then all of a sudden you get 35. It's like Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely has done shit in a month, yet he's still the number 11 tight end in football because of them 2 big games. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not taking Bo Nix at Baltimore.
So then another interesting game, Panther Saints, which we talked about a little bit.
Bryce Young for 300.
Bryce Young had 225 and 2.
Bryce Young for 300 against.
I don't know. Apparently all the guys had a meeting without the coaches because they're so pissed off with each other right now.
Was Deontay allowed in the room?
Was who?
Was Deontay allowed in the room, or he was like, "Nah, bro, like you gotta stay out of this."
The Saints had a meeting. We're player onlys already. Golly, that's desperate.
Dennis
and they also like the injured guys aren't allowed to have off right now. They're supposed to get their asses in the stadium to figure out how to uninjure themselves.
How to uninjure themselves?
Yeah, they didn't get off that. Wow.
All right, so now let's go to the biggest over/under of the week. You got Cowboys at Atlanta. Now, Ferg was just talking about how Atlanta.
That is my DFS.
Atlanta's just missing. Well, it's a 51.5 point over/under. Atlanta's just missing a defense. I mean, their secondary has actually been pretty good.
Secondary, AJ Terrell and them are nice.
Yeah, they've been pretty good. Nice. But like,
listen, I trust Dallas nowhere.
Oh, Kirk Cousins stacks all over the place this week.
Well, so it's Atlanta by 2.5 in Atlanta with a 51.5 point over/under. So I mean, do you start CD? Yes. Yep. Do you start Dak? Yes. Do you start Jake Ferguson? Probably not.
Yep.
But who knows?
Kyle Pitts with a 50 point over/under thing now.
Yes, you start Kyle Pitts. Yes, you start Drake London. Yes, you start Bijan. Yes, you start Kirk Cousins.
I mean,
yes,
in this injury season, you start everybody down to Jalen Tolbert.
You can even flex Tyler Algier in this game. I mean
you play everybody.
You know, you just play everybody you possibly can with a high over/under like that. That has
terrible defenses get together. That's fantasy gold. That is fantasy gold.
Well, speaking of a couple of one really terrible defense and one that hasn't been as good as I think people expected, the Jaguars are playing at the Eagles this week. The Eagles have a 7.5 point favorite in this game, and the Jags suck so bad. And everybody, Thomas is out for 2 to 4 weeks. Christian Kirk is out for the year. They're Tank Bigsby and ETN are both banged up. Evan Ingram is like he looked like that dude right now. And I don't know if y'all saw his touchdown last week, but when he went up,
that was a man touchdown.
He went up. That was a man
touchdown.
That was a man touchdown that he grabbed last week.
It's one of those where if you didn't see it, so like the ball was outside of his reach, and it was kind of like he had to lean forward over like a defender. Let me get that. But he also grabbed it with his hands and just brought it into his body. It looked like an old Calvin Johnson catch.
Okay.
Like it looked just like it was just strong. Right.
If he was making those catches in New York, they wouldn't hate him.
You saw the Justin Jefferson catch last week. The Thursday night, he caught Justin reached behind his head. Caught it into. I was like, "Are you? This is insane. He's insane."
Yeah. I mean, ever since like Odell did that to the Cowboys on Sunday night back in the day with the 2 fingers.
Yeah.
You know, and then Tyree did it against the helmet. People just been trying to do shit. Now to my favorite game of the week, and I think it's going to be everybody's favorite game because I don't know how it's only a 45.5 point over/under. We might want to check the
say Lions Packers.
No, we might want to check the weather forecast in Kansas City because you got Kansas City playing the Bucks. But I mean, I guess you got nobody that's on the receiving core for the Bucks except for K-Dot and then you have Rashad White, because you got Godwin and Evans are out. I mean, so maybe I could see it, but Baker still put up 26 points last week. So I mean, the Chiefs defense is probably the best or one of the top.
I mean, Baker will play until his arm falls off. Like he just goes and goes and goes.
I love this game. I think it's going to be a fun watch. And Kansas City's favored by 9, y'all, with a 45.5 point over/under. Like, what am I missing?
Is this at Kansas City?
I don't know about that.
No, it's in Kansas City for sure. But what am I missing? I mean, that's a lot, Ferg.
I mean,
9 points.
I'm gonna say this. All right, so Kansas City is not. What's the word? Kansas City is not Jacksonville.
No.
This is Kansas City. No matter who's injured, who's hurt, until somebody comes in there and smacks them in the face, not named Joe Burrow, I'm not taking anybody. to come in Kansas City and get a win.
No,
I don't really care who it is. It doesn't really matter who it is.
No, I'm not saying they're going to come in there and win by any means. What I'm saying is 9 with a 45. Like if it was 9 with like a 60-point over under, sure.
Like sure.
There's a reason why these dudes are like wide receiver 3, 4, 5. I just think at some point when it's guy on guy and I'm just better than you, and then you have the baby goat, 9 is probably not high enough. I'm gonna be honest. 9 is not high enough.
That's what
I'm gonna this. If Tampa Bay did what Tampa Bay was supposed to do and folded up shop when they were down last week and still had Godwin, then we'd be talking differently.
I mean, that sucks for them though, for sure.
And I don't hate to be with the revisionists, and I want you to win, but if you're gonna be all with we follow analytics and we've been watching football for 100 years, who the fuck is down 20 points and comes back in 7 minutes? And it's not some random ass high school football. This shit don't happen. 20
well, look, I think
in less than 7.
Lauren hit the nail on the head with this one though, Ferg. It's the Taylor Swift effect. She's going to be there, so it automatically adds 2.5 points.
That's adds 4 points. 4 points.
2.5. 2.5 is what I wrote. 2.5.
The boy is out there trying his hardest. He's like looking up there.
The 9 seems like a sucker Vegas bet to make up money somewhere else.
I think
that seems like a sucker bet.
I think the under needs to be taken and parlayed with something to make some money there.
It's like a
because
sucker bet.
Well, you know what's crazy is that Denver and the Bucks have the highest at a plus 340 for the week. And that's the highest in the NFL. Plus 340 for the week. So maybe you parlay both these cats and see if you can get a dub, and maybe that'll pay out some. Maybe that'll pay out pretty good.
Let me see. The Chiefs this year. Who have the Chiefs played this year?
I mean, dude, they played the Bills,
the Saints, the Bengals,
Ravens.
Yeah, Bengals.
I'm just trying to say have they jumped on anybody and whooped their ass at all?
I don't think they've
because Patrick hasn't been shit.
They don't have that. They don't have that in their arsenal this year.
It's more like how the old school Patriots were. It's like
they win 20-17.
Yeah, and that's all they need.
Yeah, they throw crossing routes and
they stay healthy.
Like run fucking play actions out. Yeah. Bootleg for.
They beat the Ravens by 7. Sure. The Chiefs by 1. Went on the road, beat the Falcons by 5. Beat the Chargers by 7. Beat the Saints by 13. Beat the 49ers by 12. And beat the Raiders by 7.
So they have 2 games out of this whole year where they've exceeded 9 points spread.
That seems like a sucker bet to take that. I don't like that.
I don't like it at all.
Not with the way Baker has been flinging it. I'll take the under.
I'll take the run that ball himself.
I'll take the Bucks then. I'll take the Bucks.
I'm telling you right here, right now on this show. Write it down for next week, Ferg. I think Tampa Bay outright wins this ball game.
Whoa!
I would love
Bay
that.
on the road.
I say 25-22, something like that. Like something.
We ain't got to go to the end of the show.
Like
that would be fucking amazing.
Come back with the,
you know what I mean?
Some hotness, early hotness.
Dude, I just think Baker goes in there and just does anything and everything he has to beat Patrick Mahomes.
He'll be the same running back. Yeah.
I don't think it has to do anything with beating the Chiefs. I think it has everything to do with beating Patrick Mahomes.
All right, so we have to wrap up in here in a moment, and I wanted to get to something that I wanted to ask you folks about here.
All right,
so it's been really busy today. It is week 9 fantasy season. 2 questions I'm gonna ask you guys. Do you think twofold CMC is coming back?
Yep,
and depending on dynasty or redraft, is CMC worth holding on or trading right now for as much as you can get?
In dynasty, I'd trade him. In redraft, I would keep him.
What would you trade him for in dynasty?
I took him first, and I'm like, God damn it! I picked him first. I got the first pick, and I will fucking play this.
I get the first pack. I get that. But so you picked him first. You are 5-3, 4-4, but you're still in the playoff race.
Like I would personally. If it was dynasty, I'd probably maybe see if you can get Gibbs.
I gotta keep him.
Who's giving you Gibbs for the CMC?
Dude, how do you know?
A 25-year-old running back for CMC?
Maybe you could package it. Maybe you could take a Jonathan Brooks
Would you take a first round pick? Let me give you these deals right
CMC
here.
in a second for Jahmyr
Would you
Gibbs?
take CMC?
It's a team
Would you
that
take
doesn't.
a first and a third next year in Dynasty for CMC right now?
No. Yes.
Probably. Yes. No.
No.
Not. What
No.
Dynasty?
No.
But what rookies are you? I didn't think there was any. Isn't next year the wide receiver year?
I mean, but we're talking about a flex play, a quarterback. Would you, if you knew that you could get rid of Achilles having CMC, who was a year?
I wouldn't do for. I would want somebody
for a first rounder
this year though too.
in Dynasty.
Dude, what sucks so bad is that he averages 21 points.
I get. Listen, I have been having this argument all day on the fence with several people about CMC trades.
What if he comes back out and he just blows up because he's
sitting
on his ass for like 2 months?
So think about this. What if we're in? All right. So let's say we rewind. We're in.
I have no doubt he will.
We're sitting in 2023 right now.
Yeah.
And somebody offers you that same trade for CMC.
No.
And you knowing that you had the opportunity to end up with now Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, somebody like that, you wouldn't have taken that deal if you need a QB or a wide receiver next year.
Marvin Harrison.
Yes. You're talking a top 2 to 8 pick next year means you're going to get, depending on what you need.
It depends on who you're
Glenn
running
Edwards. Who else we got out here? Dylan Gabriel. Gene T from Boise State.
Amari
receivers are plenty. They are plenty.
Amari
Hampton. Would you not take a chance on getting rid of CMC to have a dude for the next 5 to 6 years?
How many more years do you think he's going to play?
Like 18 months at most.
4.
You think so?
I give him 18 months.
4 years.
Nah.
Yeah.
CMC?
I feel like yeah.
At 30 plus? 30? Nah.
I think the thing was 30, right?
Nah. What's his contract? He won't get past his contract.
Signed a 2-year contract.
And he got an extension.
Can I just slip this in here? Pause for a second. The Yankees were up 5-0. Now it's tied in the 5th.
Yes.
Like I told you. I tell you. Don't worry about the Yankees. Don't worry about them. All right. So CMC is under contract until Jesus fucking Christ. 27?
Yeah, he got paid.
27, he'll be 31 and 27. He's broken down now.
That's because he gets run into the ground though too. It's not
$18 million a year, 18.5 a year.
His salary is ridiculous. And that dead cap hit in 27 is like $25 million if he's not there.
So Kamara's older than him and he just got signed for 2 years.
Hey, Daniels is almost as old as fucking
CMC just got a deal. He just got a new deal. He got $24 million guaranteed.
Yeah, I know. And he got 18.5 a year.
38 altogether a year and a half ago. So
stupid.
That's crazy.
Yes.
So yes or no on the CMC trade?
I would say no to Dynasty. I mean, yes to Dynasty, no to redraft. I would keep him in a redraft.
Yeah, I'm keeping him in redraft. Dynasty, I don't know if I would do that for.
Yeah, I mean, because if you can keep him next year, you're gonna lose a first-round pick, but it's like losing the first pick of the draft, just like we talked about at nauseum before the Hoofnagel draft this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you know,
I guess it just depends on where you are in Dynasty. If you are bottom of the barrel ass out, you need to be getting picks.
Yeah. But if you're in win now, you keep CMC in Dynasty because you're gonna have.
If you're win now,
because you're gonna have him for the end of the year. So
I would love to
if you made it this far in playoff position without CMC, then I could ride them. But if I'm 2-4,
actually, I don't even know.
And I'm Dynasty. I'm breaking this thing up. If you got
Jordan Mason, if you got Jordan Mason, you're fine.
He's hurt though.
Yeah. He's now, but the beginning of the first.
Oh yeah. If you had him to replace,
Adam, but now we're talking about next week. We're talking. If we don't get CMC, they're on a bye week this week. So CMC don't come back next week. Maybe Mason's not hurt. Patrick Taylor, Garindo.
Yep.
And if you're in Dynasty, you probably don't have Garindo anyway. If you have CMC,
probably not.
You probably don't have him anyway.
Yeah, probably not.
So all in on trade. You trading CMC? Yes or no? Final answer.
No.
Yes. Yeah, in Dynasty, yes. In redraft,
no. That's basically how the answer went when I asked 20 other people. Everybody said something.
I thought you were going to ask us a totally different question than that.
No, I want to CMC, and I want to know because he is pivotal to the movement of about 200 of my teams.
Well, okay, I know it's the elephant in the room. I have to say though, one thing: you guys realize that this time next week, we potentially will have elected the first female president to the United States. Like it chokes me up every time I think about it.
Either that or we'll be broadcasting from Canada, one or the other.
Oh God, yeah, I won't be around Wednesday if it's the other way around.
Well, let's just
talk
about
a special outfit.
I think either way, you're gonna have to wait until Thursday or Friday.
Well, let's take a little straw poll for anybody that watches or for you guys, because
who thinks Lauren's gonna get arrested?
Unlike Clint, your boy's birthday is next Wednesday, so
my sister asked
I'm
for
not sure if we're going to be on air with you. I don't know if it'd be legal for me to be there drunk.
I don't think we should. I think we should wait until next Sunday.
Yeah,
we're gonna do Sunday.
I think we should do Sunday next week. I think we should do Sunday next week.
No, we can't do Sunday. Sunday, it's homecoming. I'm still.
Well, then maybe we take a week off, bro, because we can't do it Wednesday.
We're gonna take a birthday week off.
I know we cannot jump on Monday on Friday. I know we cannot do that for a fact.
We'll take the week off for the election, and because either way, we're either gonna be really happy or like
we'll gather together next week and be mad
or celebrate. Get in trouble because I have a special outfit to vote in. I go when it's the most busy.
What does a voting outfit look like?
It's the Handmaid's Tale robe, hat, whole thing. I've done it. I'll send you a picture. I did it the last time, and we're voting on a question, and there's a bunch of questions. We have a basically to make it so that reproductive rights, like no matter what happens in the state of Maryland, you're good. There's been a lot of protesters. So I might make a sign that says I'm stupid and like an arrow and just stand next to them for as long as I can. So I can't promise that I'm not going to be in jail.
Lauren won't be on next week's show because she'll be locked up in some kind of detention center in Anne Arundel County or somewhere near or around there. So we will rejoin you.
You knew it was Anne Arundel County too. That's really good.
Well, let's talk about some happy stuff real quick. Happy stuff real quick. So first of all, Texans Jets, we've already talked about the game. 42.5 point over under. I think all of us probably have the Texans, but the Jets are favored. I'm going Texans for sure.
I'm just taking the Texans. Yeah.
I think they cover that spread easy. I don't really understand. So take out anybody that you're starting in this game and take them out of your flex, put them in your starting positions. So that's always and forever. Don't ever forget to do that. So we have a couple of fun things, right? So you got to vote, right? So that's
got to vote. It's on the screen. Got to vote.
And then we have some fun things that I just wanted to say real quick. So Carolina plays Florida State this Saturday, and if we can continue this barrage of fucked upness that Florida State is experiencing, I would be overjoyed.
Ecstatic.
I would be overjoyed. So, and because if we can go into Tallahassee and win that game, I would be overjoyed, and we would help Ferg out immensely.
Oh my God!
Because he doesn't more
like misery to our family chats for
right, but it would be great. And I have to give a big woo fucking who. I'm a big college basketball guy. If anybody's watched this show, y'all know. So is Ferg. Ferg is on the right side of this argument here with Carolina, and we got basketball season starting on Monday with Elon, and then we fly over to Lawrence, Kansas for the first time since 1957 and play the Kansas Jayhawks. It's going to be an insane environment. I cannot wait for college basketball. I just want to say that. I can't wait for college basketball, and I'm super excited. So anything y'all want to say at all before we close out?
I promised my big rugger. I'm going to say her name wrong, too. Ilona, the rugby player from the Olympics.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? She was she's everywhere. Mm-hmm. So she's on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yep. So vote for her on Tuesday. That would be awesome. That would be amazing if she beat all the other celebrities out.
Yeah, that would be funny. I like.
She's still there.
Yeah, she's still there.
The rugby team was
badass
awesome.
Too.
The rugby team was awesome. It was a fun Olympics.
And she's the one that everybody thought was a man or whatever. And so she is awesome. I think she might have picked up the guy that she's dancing. I thought they did the Dirty Dancing, and she's the one that picked him up. So I got you, but yeah, no, she's still going strong.
Ferg, Jackson State is beating Liberty. This would be their second loss.
Liberty's ass.
Yeah.
All right, before we go, just because Lauren gave a shout out to her lacrosse people on Dance with the Stars. Rugby. I'm sorry. Shout out back home, Whitney Thomas, still a contestant on Hell's Kitchen this season. I don't know if you guys watch the show. Straight from the crib.
I love that.
Shout out to her sister Ashley. Shout out to Whitney Thomas. Let's go Rockingham, Reedsville. Let's do our thing here.
Nice.
Go ahead. I would love to know what that experience is like with Gordon Ramsay.
I would too. Can we get her on the show?
That would be insane to talk football.
Oh, that would be awesome. We should try that. I'm gonna call and see.
That would be dope.
You should, because I have
We'll talk Hell's Kitchen. We'll talk Hell's Kitchen instead of football.
Yeah. So all right. But sorry, we're taking off next week for voting in Fergalicious' 33rd birthday.
Yeah, 33rd.
His 20th celebration of his 33rd birthday. So we're gonna take off for the week. But we will be back probably Wednesday of the following week to run down everything that has happened. I'm sure we will have plenty to talk about. Until then, take care of your fantasy teams, but also fuck your team.
Fuck your team.
And I hope you lose every single match that you have. And yeah, Ferg. And find a New Jersey next week, bro.
Next week, hopefully we'll have won. By the time I see you again, we'll be back in.
Maybe you can
Jalen. We can bring Waddle back out by the time.
Maybe you can ship that to Lauren and help her, and she can use it to aid her demonstrations at her voting.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I would get everybody.
I didn't know massage rights was on the ballot in Maryland this year.
All of
massage rights. Vote for massage rights, people.
Hey, you know how people hate and just hate. Just to hate.
Also,
just to hate. So
I'm a little nervous about what's going to happen I'm not too far from DC. Like this shit could. Who knows what's going to happen next week?
Stay safe, everybody.
This shit
there. For sure.
You see the screen. Just vote.
Yep.
I mean, just vote. We at this point, we're not even gonna. Don't even argue and whine about what happens later. If you didn't vote,
do your due diligence.
Do your diligence, so you're at least allowed to comment. When you're whining online about what the hell it is that's going on because you didn't vote.
Absolutely.
And it takes 2 seconds to do it.
2 seconds. My children,
if you don't feel
my
like
daughter has voted. Our house has voted. We are done. We have voted early. So now we just got to sit back and wait on everybody else.
Yep. So, all right, y'all. Well, until next time, I'm Clint and Clintonian. We got Big Fergalicious over on the top left, and Lauren from Who Dat Nation. And we will see y'all in a few weeks.
Peace.
Peace out.
Vote Kamala. I did a lot.
Yep, vote Kamala.